The holiday season is known for bringing family and friends together and creating happy memories. But for some, holiday memories are surrounded by tragedy.
This month, we will be sharing one unsolved missing person story every single day. We hope sharing their story will help bring them home for the holidays. Danica Childs was born on May 25th, 1990. She was one of four daughters living in an apartment in Federal Way, Washington, with their single mother. This town has about 100,000 people in it. The area that they lived in wasn't the greatest, but her mother was very involved in her children's lives. Danica was described by those that knew her as a smart and outgoing teenager. She made great grades and was actually taking classes at a local college as a junior. She had a love of fashion and was a gifted poet, a talented dancer, and at just 17 years old, she would vanish with very few clues and many secrets would come out about Danica's recent activities. There was a very short period of time between her last known contact and when the family knew she was missing. Her mother, Diane Zorro, had spoken with Danica that morning of December 2007. After hanging up, Diane realized she forgot to tell her daughter something, so she called her back. Danica did not answer. Later on that afternoon, Danica was supposed to meet up with her sisters for a shopping trip. And when she didn't show up for that, her family knew something was wrong. Danica would never miss a shopping trip. Remember, she loved fashion. By the next day, and with no signs of her, Diane would contact her friends. They did not see her either. So then she calls the police to file a missing persons report. An investigation starts to ramp up. Information about Danica's activities in the previous weeks is starting to come to light. This was so out of left field that many of the reports stated she had a double life. I'm going to start with what Diane knew about her daughter's life. She knew that she'd met a guy on the bus. She knew Danica started staying out all night and would often stay with friends. This was not her normal behavior. She also started doing really badly in school and in her college classes, and she decided to try to get her GED versus staying in school. This is completely out of character. Her daughter was really into school. Her grades were great. She was already taking classes as a junior at the local college. So something was happening. Danica was supposed to be staying the night with a friend the night before her disappearance. This friend admitted that Danica actually stayed at a motel in the town of Kent. This is just outside of their town. This motel was named the Sunset Motel and is known for drug and prostitution activities. Once police look into this motel, they find Danica's phone, purse, and coat in one of the rooms. This was the first big lead for police, but they still didn't know where Danica was. Diane was able to figure out Danica's voicemail password. And when she listens to the messages that were unlistened to at this point, Danica had never listened to these messages. Let's just say it was awful. Diane said these messages were really heartbreaking. This is when Diane learns that her daughter had been involved in sex work. This had to be a shock for this mother of four girls. At this point, local police assume Danica was a runaway and, like so many others, did not get the media attention it should have. Her mother and family believe Danica was forced into human trafficking and that she still could be alive. This has been years in this case without any word from Danica. I don't know if this is based on rumors of what they've found out in the area, but they truly believe she was sold into human trafficking. Diane
Mm.
had actually become an advocate for human trafficking and works with a coalition in her area.
It breaks my heart that family members seem to when their family members go missing or have been murdered, that they shift into becoming that they are forced to shift into becoming an advocate, and while other people do need that help, it just breaks my heart that is what got you to that point.
It is because they're not getting the help that they need from any outside forces that's
Mhm,
supposed to be the resources. So it's they have to go to school or train for a different type of career just to get the answers that they deserve. Her
mhm,
mom and her sisters have been advocates for her case for a very long time, trying to get any type of information. There has been sightings or people thinking they see Danica literally across the country, a lot out of Portland, Oregon, and Seattle, all the way through California, a few places in Texas. So, yes, there's people out there looking, but there's so many cases like this. It just shatters me all the time because this was a smart, bright, had her whole future ahead of her. She was a dancer. The things that she had going in her life were astronomical, all to meet a guy on a bus and things completely turn away. Danica is biracial. She's African American, Caucasian female, 5 foot 2 inches tall, 105 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. Danica may dye her hair. I know she had highlights at one point in time. Her ears pierced, her navel pierced, and her nose pierced. If you have any information about the whereabouts of Danica Childs, please contact Federal Way Police Department at 253 835 6856.